Yeah, we came on Tuesday just kind of check it out because I had never been here before. I just found out about this place and I really liked it when we came over.
I'm just gonna keep this part up.
He said it immediately reminded him of Boston.
Yeah,
which is
that's where I live for so long.
You're on our head. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, this place is the best place in Wichita. You come in and you don't feel like you're in Wichita anymore.
Exactly.
You feel like you're in any major city
That was
anywhere in the
the first thing
United
he
States.
said.
Right when I got here, I was like, dude, the vibe is so fucking awesome because I lived in Austin for so long. I got so used to that kind of mentality of people where you don't have to worry about. You feel a little bit of judgment, but at the same time, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then there's just like this whole like the beer. The beer is fucking awesome.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. And that's why I was telling them, like, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone as far as beer is concerned because I was just like, okay, what's the closest thing you got to Budweiser? Like, that's what I drink.
I drink a lot of PBR, her High Life, and Miller Lite when I go out. So when I come here, I'm just like, this is a treat.
So when you ask for the closest thing to Budweiser, they say, well, there's people pissing in the bathroom.
Exactly. They're like, why don't you go just stick your head in a urinal? Wait for the next guy to come out.
Oh, that's great.
All right, you want to squeeze in on the end?
I can squeeze it wherever.
Here, squeeze in on this side, because you'll be able to pick up on that. That mic.
My homie.
There we go.
Can I hear myself so I understand how loud I'm being?
I know we got to figure out how to do.
Well, eventually we'll get a hookup for.
Are we good? I can be this close
Hey, hold me close to Johnny Dancer. The same over
Here,
here.
you try these. You put on these.
Okay. Thanks. Oh, this is nice.
Can you hear
Jess
us?
has to
I
monitor her
appreciate
volume
I do.
constantly.
It's actually a sad thing that really happened. Right?
She don't need no mic.
No.
So we got two of the people from U Breast podcast, right?
You best believe.
U Breast.
No, at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not YOU. It's a U, guys,
It's a U.
not YOU.
We're millennials. We don't take that time.
What? Yeah. Oh, are you recording it?
Yeah. Audio and video.
We do audio.
Right.
We do audio, video, and then we post it on later just audio.
That's a really dope idea. Yeah.
So how do you do yours? Because your audio on JC's podcast was phenomenal. Like, it sounded like you guys were sitting in a fucking studio. Like,
Really?
yeah, fuck yeah, it does. Because I listen to podcasts all day at work on my headphones. Like, that's my podcast time. So, like, today, like, I was just like, where the fuck are these girls at? Like, they're fucking got a studio or something. Just was really clear. Like, everything just sounded really good. I don't know if it's just, like, probably there's only 3 of you in a room or whatever, probably. But.
We were in our friend Allie's apartment, and I go through and I listen to it, and then I just change the levels. I cut whatever sounds. Like a lot of times, seriously, a lot of times I'm too loud and I hurt people's fucking voice. I mean, ears.
Well, our microphone right here is going to pick up a lot more. Like, this is also picking up YouTube while that one's picking up you guys. So it's kind of like
so that way we can try to get the sounds instead of we get us instead of all the background. Because
I recorded that with my cell phone.
Really?
Somehow I recorded with GarageBand and using a Yeti microphone. Somehow Mercury retrograde fucked up my shit and did not save any of our audio with her.
Oh.
And so
Yeah, big chunk of that.
Damn
I was like and then I realized that I had recorded. I got a feeling, I guess, at one point to record with my phone too, because I was like, this is a big deal. I can't fuck this up. And I did. I only fucked it up 15% of it. But I think what got cut out was necessary. And I think it was good how it let in.
Right.
I mean, you listened to it today.
Yeah, I listened to it. I dug it. Because we do most of our recording in apartments between Jess and Allie's.
Yeah.
And then Jess here does all the legwork of editing and cutting in and putting it on.
But I'm slow. My turnaround rate is like 2 every 1 month. And I just blast 2 at a time.
But see, the quality, it's quality over quantity sometimes though, because your podcast, like ours, like we'll do these and then if we like it, he'll leave it on YouTube. If not, he'll just put it on. He'll just set it to private, and then that'll be that. Because
I like to go through them and edit them. And if I don't like them immediately, I go back through and I listen to it and I edit out the parts that kind of maybe a little too offensive for some people because that's how America is today.
You guys
did with the
PC.
But that's kind of what's great about the podcast is we shouldn't have to edit out anything. Like, you shouldn't have to do that.
When we had our sponsor, investor, whatever he was at the time, he was saying some pretty fucked up.
Yeah, we had this guy. We met a guy. He's an older guy, and he had told me that he was really interested in doing a podcast. And we got talking one day. He's like, "Hey, we already do one, blah blah blah." Well, anyway, you shouldn't take advice. Sometimes old people are not the people to take advice from. Okay, and you live and you learn. And there's a podcast you can go and watch, and you'll be like, "Yeah, you're so much better off without this fucking guy." And as nice of a guy as he is as a human, just not everybody's good for everybody.
Yeah, I say that about my grandpa every day.
How many podcasts do you guys do like a week or a month?
How often? Like, what's your guys? You guys try to do a set schedule?
We do record pretty weekly.
Nice.
With like tonight, we usually record on Thursdays, but we have this show going on, so like we work around because Jess and I do comedy.
Right.
So and Thursday night comedy is a common thing.
Yeah.
So we record around that and just work schedules and stuff. I think we record pretty regularly.
Yeah, it's just the releasing, which is like what I fuck up on. Is like, or like tonight we didn't have it because of the show. Doing comedy takes a lot of prep work. Like, you don't want to just like do a podcast and then not have a break to do a show like this. So
you gotta get some living in between. You gotta have the.
I'm not there yet. I don't know if you like.
That's why we do it the way we do it right here. Is like immediately after our podcast, once we say we're done, it saves. And everybody can watch it whenever the hell they want.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We do it through YouTube, so it saves it directly to YouTube, and then somebody can go to it and watch it tomorrow if they wanted to.
The only thing I don't like about YouTube is like if you're doing anything on YouTube on your phone, which 95% of us are, that app has to stay open. You got to have your phone in your pocket.
Hey, you can pay to have YouTube stay open though while you're doing other stuff on your phone.
Back in all day.
Can you really?
Yes.
No ads.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. I'm super not trying to pay for that.
Yeah. I'm not ready to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm never not paying for
happy that
YouTube.
we're making this step.
Right.
It's gonna be
Right.
Just
We
create
used
your
to-
own content
Yeah.
and fucking distribute it among people.
Yes.
And go back to reality.
Yes.
And go and fucking Fahrenheit 492 is happening.
Well, it's so easy,
It's
it's
the naturalist.
it's just too easy to.
Everywhere except my armpits and my legs.
Oh man.
That's wonderful.
No, but I like that. Talking about creating and putting out and producing your own content. That's a big thing. Not letting everybody else get involved in what you want to do.
I spent the majority of my teens and preteens and early 20s absorbing other people's content.
Right.
So it just feels really good to reach an age where you're like, no, fuck it. I still like absorbing content.
But you're gonna absorb what the fuck you
but
want.
I want to absorb that, and
Yeah.
I want to put my own shit out there too to be
Nice.
absorbed.
Right.
I want to produce more than consume. We have to be careful about
There's
overproducing and underconsuming.
There is
Right.
an algorithm to it.
Yeah.
See, I haven't been involved in podcasting very long. He's been doing this a lot longer than me. He told me about it probably 8 months ago or so, probably, and we kind of got into it.
And we're related, and I've been doing this for 9 years. We're cousins, and he just realized I've been doing this.
And I was just like, dude. So I just started talking to him, and I just become like a sponge. I've just been totally absorbing just all of this, because I'm so new.
He's
And
addicted.
Until I've totally
Podcast.
comedy and
Comedy,
podcasting, yes, absolutely.
comedians,
How did you
podcasts,
stumble upon us?
Okay, because every podcast I listen to are comedians, and they're all pretty famous comedians and stuff. And I've become obsessed with comedians in general. Just you people are something else. They're cut
What do you
from a
mean, you people?
comedians, in general. People who are comedians
It's
are
like
just
saying
cut.
you bartenders.
No. Comedians are. There's nobody like a comedian.
Bartenders are
People that are comedians are the most unique and just out there people, and it's just something that, like I said, I've become obsessed with, because every podcast I listen to is a comedian, like Joey Diaz, Rogan, anybody.
Joey Diaz is a badass too.
Is it? Joey Diaz is my number one listen to podcast.
Yeah, that guy. Ugh.
So, listen to him talk about comedy, what comedy really is. Like, I never knew, like, how big of a thing comedy really was. You lose at 27.
But the whole way we kind of stumbled across you guys and kind of seeing you guys at the Looney Bin.
Oh, you guys have been out and
we saw you guys a couple weeks ago at 420 show.
Yeah.
We ran into you at Rain afterwards.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You want it Rain?
No, I didn't go to.
She wasn't at that show.
But we did.
I heard it was really good.
We did a podcast with a couple comedians before that.
With Jose Sardui and Henry Coleman.
Oh, Jose Sardui.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen you guys before.
Yeah,
Did you? It was that was the okay. That was the best. Okay, hold on. That was the best. That was the best opportunity that we've had since we started podcasting, and it was the worst podcast we've ever done.
Dude, okay.
We had a solid opportunity.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that happens.
I should have worn my damn shirt. He signed it and everything. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then the t-shirt with the turtles. Oh my
Patrick
God.
Keane was there.
Yes, he was. Yes.
That guy is my homie. He'll never hear this, but shout out to Patrick Keane. You're fucking cool, dude.
I hope he hears it.
No,
Yeah. We got to
tag him
out of
in
this
it.
now.
No, he's
Right.
he's out of LA, and he came to an open mic at Barleycorn.
Yeah.
And I was like doing my like socialite thing, and I was like, "Hey, are you here for comedy? You want to do comedy? Here to watch what?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm just here to watch." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then like went off, and I don't know, there's something about him, and he stuck around to talk to me, but eventually left because I was like all fluttering around. And then he came back, like, I don't know, 30 minutes later, and my friend Patrick came up and he was like, "Hey, the headliner for the Looney Bin is here, and that's him over there." And I looked, and I was like, "That's..." And I went over, and I was like, "You motherfucker. You're headlining at the Looney Bin and you didn't say anything?" He's like, "Sorry, I wasn't like trying to be blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "All right, you're cool. You're a cool guy."
Right.
Yeah, he came back because someone at Looney Bin said to hit up Pat over at where Pat was.
Right.
Pat was at Barleycorn and I was, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, boom. Full circle of life.
Nice.
That guy, what's that guy's name again? Oh, yes, Jose Sardui.
Jose
Yeah,
Sardui,
he
yeah.
got, oh my God, this bracelet.
Oh shit.
Listen about this bracelet.
He made that with his
Did he
teeth.
really?
No, this bitch he banged gave it to me.
I was seriously about to buy into whatever she was gonna tell me.
Seriously, that's a true story. I wasn't lying.
Oh shit.
No, a bitch. Like, okay, so we went out. He got some girl after one of the comedy shows. We went to Old Chicago, and it was the night before Patrick and Keane and Jose were leaving. And this girl, like, I said, I liked her bracelet. I knew what the bracelet was, and she's like, "Oh my God, you can have it," and gave it to me.
No shit.
And then
Hell
later
yeah.
on, Patrick and Keane texted me that they were banging. Anyway, so yeah, that's
He was
also
really
cool.
funny and as much. He was really funny, but he went. He was up last that night because the way they was rotating and it was
He's
like Jose, like Henry went, and then Jose went and just fucking destroyed. Jose fucking destroyed, and it was really hard for. And then that was really hard for Patrick, I think, to get up on stage. But he was really funny, but he didn't get the laughs like the other two guys got. But that was probably, like I said, the best opportunity up until now that we've had doing podcasts, and it got ruined because the guy that we did them with.
I know. I had dinner with him like 3 times. Like I'll go like out with people and like have.
Had dinner with who?
I had dinner with Jose Sardui.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean like.
I was like, Joe.
I was like, what?
No, Allie from You Best Believe was there. She got to, and Tim from Midwest Digest, the other podcast.
He is super smart. He was talking about like being in the Air Force and stuff, and doing stuff for NASA and all kinds of stuff. Like,
He's intelligent.
yeah, no kidding. So, anytime I look up anything about Wichita comedy, your name's attached to it in some sort of way. Are you just like busy as fuck? Both of you, just with this comedy
Megan
thing.
and I.
Yeah, like everything is.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy and I don't have a boyfriend, and my parents don't live here.
Right.
So it's pretty easy to say yes to some things, but I'm learning to say no now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed at this point, and I love the community, and I love like enforcing everybody else, like helping everyone else's career I love it to pieces, and I want to keep doing it, but I can't right now, and I have to focus on me. But I'm about to quit my job, and then I can again. Like, I love promoting other people and myself, but right now I got to do me because I haven't been. So,
but how long have each of you been doing comedy?
Almost a year now.
Almost a year? Really?
Yeah.
August.
Are you sure?
I feel like
you
seem like there. You seem so comfortable and so seasoned.
I thought you had a previous comedy life and you stopped.
No.
I
I count August as my year in comedy because that's when I started doing open mics every week. I had done 2 open mics in the last year. I did one in I did one and tried it out with some friends. Did one 6 months later and then never did it again until August. And then that summer I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I count August as a good starting point. And it doesn't matter because everything I've ever been told is that you don't count the first 2 years.
Right.
No shit.
Yeah, it really sucks that she's that funny.
I know, Megan's
Right?
gonna
I was gonna say, you just seem so defined in your comedy,
Yeah,
You're such a bitch, Megan.
Yeah.
just keep it up.
Was it
Megan.
Tina? Is it Tina?
Yeah.
Belcher.
Tina Belcher. I also have a dog named Tina Turner. That's why I was like, how'd you know my dog was named Tina? Fuck you, bitch.
Research.
Yeah.
I've been on Google. My
Yeah.
Googler works.
Yeah, I do. I haven't been posting a lot about my dogs lately because I try to keep them in suspense.
Right.
You know,
We'll do
for
a little
comedy.
bit of promotion.
Shock value. That's my humor.
So, how did you get it? So, if you've been doing it your house, how did you get into it? When did you decide, hey, I think I'm going to start writing jokes and I want to go and do an open mic? When did that? Where did the inspiration come from?
I've been wanting to do comedy my whole life. I started out as a theater kid in high school, and I went on as a theater major in college for a couple of years, and then I dropped out. And then I got pregnant, that American dream. And then I had my kid, and I kind of stepped away from because I was doing theater and stuff when I could in the area and around, and I just kind of stepped out of that once I had a baby, and I was like, that's done. And then I waited 5-6 years till he was old enough that I felt comfortable going out and chasing my dreams again. So, and then the Looney Bin had closed down for a period of time. During that point, and I didn't know anything else about what was going on in the comedy scene. So I when the Looney Bin reopened, I found out the next open mic I could do, and then party foul.
Who did it?
That's $1 in the tip jar.
Who did
I'm
it?
gonna leave a stain.
No kidding.
Dude,
Kidding.
and,
Hey, I'm a carpet guy. We can fix it.
No, it's okay. She's a regular. You're a regular. It's all right.
You're okay.
It happens.
she's got my Heart Kansas
You're cool.
shirt on. She's good.
She's good.
She's supposed to be here.
Speaking of t-shirts, I gotta figure out where can we get some of your t-shirts. I want.
Have you seen my t-shirt?
Yes.
It's boobies.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Did
you're talking about UBB. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
do you have a t-shirt too, though?
I do.
Nice.
Do have one. Pat Cavillo. Cavillo. I don't know how to say it in the tongue.
I don't know.
Cavillo.
No, it's 2 L's. It's a Y. 2 L's is a Y.
I don't.
Pat
Yeah.
drew me up a really bum ass shirt that you can get, but UBB, I have them in my trunk if you
Oh
want some.
shit.
What do you have?
Okay.
I think I have some UBB in my trunk.
It's
Oh my
weird.
God,
I don't
I
know
have
how to
UBB
say
in my
Pat's
trunk.
name.
Yeah,
either.
we carry them in our
we're gonna
trunks.
need
We
those.
suck.
We're definitely
Yes.
gonna need those.
We're
Comedian.
How do you
okay.
say Pat's last name? Because I don't know it either.
Cavillo.
Well,
Cavillo?
you say
Cavillo.
Calvillo if
Cavillo.
you're super American, but if
Yeah.
you're Hispanic or Hispanic
All right,
Cavillo.
American, or
hipster.
I've taken a class before, you're Cavillo.
I just,
Yeah.
I always call
I've
him.
had just the
Would
tip.
you guys mind if I lit a
Okay.
cigarette?
No. Go ahead.
Would you mind?
I love
Okay, so my introduction to Pat.
No, you're fine. As long as you're outside. If we was in the car with the windows up, maybe, but we're outside. We'll be fine.
My introduction to Pat was Jessica was doing a one-woman show. It was her birthday. It was a Space Jam themed birthday at Kirby's Beer Store.
Space Jam.
It was great. That was playing in the background the whole
I
time.
turned 26.
It was awesome. But Pat, her kind of creative / writing partner, he made a bunch of homemade pizzas, and just out of nowhere, it was just oh, Pizza Pat?
Oh shit.
And
That's how Pizza Pat.
and that's
so now
the,
he's Pizza Pat.
no, that's the only thing I know him
Oh
as.
shit.
I've been starting a new one.
What do you have going?
Backwards Hat Pat.
Back.
And I said that one night, and he was like, "Don't ever say that again." So you have to make it a new
He
one.
hardly ever wears it backwards though. It's normally
I've only
front
seen
cap hat.
Maybe you should
Front
say
cap
front.
pat.
Yeah. Frontward
Front cap pat.
Frontward pat cat.
Yeah.
Whoa, nope.
I don't know,
Frontward
but
Cat Pat.
He's a feline now.
Can we just call him Pat?
just I don't know.
No.
Pizza
Pat
Pat.
Patty's backpack shack.
Pizza Pat is just so great. Like, you have no idea how satisfying it is to get a text message and it's from somebody named Pizza Pat. Like, it changes your whole day.
Especially as a pothead, you're just like, oh, right.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter what he
His
says.
Matthew McConaughey voice kicks in.
I said that to somebody the other night at a show. After the show, they were on the stage. They came out back and they said something about they were trying to make connections. Like, oh, do you know Pat? I know Pat. I was like, Pizza Pat? And they go, Pizza Pat, yeah. And I was like, Backwards Hat Pat, and I just threw it out there. And I was like, Pizza Pat, Backwards Hat Pat, and they're like, yeah, that guy. And I said something to Pat later. He's like, I don't know that guy at all.
They probably just tagged on to Pizza. They probably recognize Pizza and they're like,
Yes.
I know him as Pizza, but backwards cap, yeah, whatever, sure.
No,
Whatever.
yeah. I think anything is just like Pat's that guy that you're like, yeah, I know him. You don't know him at all.
He's a good guy. He's kind of like a ghost. He's not on Facebook at all,
I don't
which is
Facebook
rare.
either. I'm not on Facebook. Okay, like
What?
okay, I made
I thought
wait,
you
no,
added me on
no,
Facebook.
no, I didn't. I found you got Twitter.
Okay,
But see,
all right.
okay,
The T one.
like
the T one.
2 years ago, I was playing this game called Farmville, and I need some coins and some wheat and stuff. So I was like, hey, I'm looking at my 3 buddies over here on the couch. Like, guys, I'm gonna make this Facebook. Don't fucking tell anybody, and you're gonna hook me up with fucking wheat and corn and everything that I need. Yeah, I swear. So I have like,
You don't even have a profile picture.
no, so like now I have like 8 friends. I don't know how I got them, and it just blows me up like all the fucking time. I'm not into the Facebook deal, but listening to podcasts and shit's actually what made me get on Twitter. So that way, because that's how I got a hold of you originally. So if I wouldn't have got on Twitter, like none of this would have happened. But I can't do the Facebook thing. Can't.
Man, all those internet games.
People in their
just-
70s look at me like, you're not on Facebook.
the
My grandma's
internet
on
games
Facebook.
weird me out. Like
Both
Farmville,
mine.
like Farmville, Candy Crush, like all that shit. I don't know why, but for some reason that just weirds me the fuck out. It
That's
just
the only
does.
game like that I ever played. Never got involved.
Yeah. I was so desperate one time to get people to come to a show. I was like, hey, I'll like accept your Candy Crush application invite if you come to the show tonight. Right? Like 50-50. Yeah. They didn't show up, but like I didn't add the game, so whatever.
It doesn't matter.
So how was the show tonight for you two? You like it?
Like I feel like
It seemed
It's a rough crowd.
It seemed like exactly.
I'm
I
excited
feel like
to
it's a
listen
rough
to
venue.
it.
Not even so much a crowd. Rough
I
venue.
can't say that because we've done
Yeah.
a show here before and it killed.
The first show.
I think honestly, if I'm looking at the elements of tonight, I think Cinco de Mayo plays a lot into it, and people on Cinco de Mayo are like, I'm out to drink.
My third.
Do you guys think
my
that
third
overtook a
45-minute
little?
show bombed on St. Patrick's Day. Holidays are hard.
Holidays are hard shows. Honestly,
People are
you
on-
think they
They
would
get a
be better.
babysitter. They're going out. They don't know there's a comedy show. They want to talk.
The worst thing in comedy too, and I don't think that was the case here, but I think in a lot of venues, the thing I've learned, the worst thing for comedy is to be surprised by it.
Yeah.
No one wants to like get off work, go out to the bar with their friends, sit
And
down to talk, and
not
then
be
someone
able to
go
talk.
up on stage and be like, "Hey, there's a comedy show getting ready to start."
Yeah.
You know, that's
It's a
like
normal chill spot for people. But the people that were watching were invested and they were
Yes.
sticking to it. And as a performer, if you can understand that there are people listening and engaged, just keep fucking power through it, man. Power through it. We
That's
used
what
to
it's
do,
about.
We used
tagging
to
out
do
and letting
hip
the
hop
man.
open
Uh-oh.
mics and try and keep the audience. That is hard. This
Yeah.
Hold on, Megan, before you leave,
Yes.
do you have? Sorry, I totally did
It's
not mean to
cool.
cut. You got anything you want to plug, or how's everybody find out about? How do we find out about your comedy?
I would love I have a Facebook page right now. It's Megan Welch Comedy. It's Megan with an H, MEGHAN. Welch, like the grape juice comedy. Add me as a friend on Facebook too, because I'm lonely. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then UBB, You Best Believe, check out that podcast.
Yeah, we're on
For
Twitter. Spelled with the letter U.
Spelled with the letter U. All right.
Andy Rob.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
Wait.
you guys for having me on. I'm gonna let Dan the Man come on.
Nice.
Wait.
Tonight.
You're on live TV.
Cool. That's cool. I'm glad that we have a video camera here and everyone can see how weird she looks wearing a headphone and a fucking hat. Can I swear on this?
Yes.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You can't hear the
I'm a
fuck word coming out of my
Jehovah's
mouth.
Witness, so we can't do this.
This is a really tight spot.
I know. Yeah, this fucking thing can honestly. Can we just 86 this? Let's-
really
No,
quick,
keep
really
it
quick,
though. I
guys.
like it.
This is
Oh.
this is a really bad outro, but I have a vague suspicion that I have a hungry pregnant girl sitting behind me who's like really ready to leave.
Oh shit.
So I might have to do like a quick peace out.
That's cool.
But
As long as you hurry the hell up. No, I'm just kidding.
Right?
She said she was ready to leave the moment you got on stage, dude.
Probably.
Yeah, she was like, let's
Yeah.
get out of
you,
here.
you shouldn't have went up so soon.
It's old Chicago time. This is a nice plug for
Oh.
old Chicago at
Yes.
Rock Road.
Oh, East
They're not
Kellogg.
giving you a free drink.
They
I like
didn't tell me to
downtown.
say this,
Go to
but
downtown.
they have reasonable, like after 11 snacks.
Go to downtown. They
It's
have
$10 beer night.
$2 pub pizza. It's 50 cents for an
Oh shit.
Ah.
We got a OC
Snack
fucking connoisseur over
We,
here.
we, we,
Yeah.
we have a
We
rep
got rid of an Italian
rep in the
nachos.
house.
What? No Italian nachos with the pepperoncinis and
It's
shit.
not even worth it.
Oh.
Just off of the appetizer list.
Oh.
It's worth it.
So if you're gonna take off, do you got anything you want to plug?
Well, I mean, you did the first time, but
No, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I don't think I have I don't have anything off the top of my head that I can think of
Right.
anything. So I have a few things in Tulsa, Oklahoma coming up, but
Well, say 'em, man.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
you remember Peter Bedgood?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody look up Peter Bedgood on Facebook. He does great illustrations. He's kind of like my comedy mentor.
I've Peter
but-
Bedgood before.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding.
He is he's actually getting ready to move from Oklahoma to Los Angeles.
Oh, really? That's
he's,
a big
he's
step.
lived out there a long time, so he's gonna go back out there now after maybe 10 years.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do like a roast show and a farewell show for him.
Nice. Hell
But,
yeah. When are you going to Tulsa?
I'm not sure yet. I actually just heard about it.
Oh, okay. So
today.
you don't have your dates. Nothing.
Yeah,
Okay. Hell
But,
yeah.
well,
you
you
know,
always let us know because we'll end up doing a podcast. And
yeah.
Yes,
well,
definitely.
and-
Anytime you get something
and-
that you want to get out there,
Well,
you can
and
always-
I also want to have another little sit down sesh with you guys.
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Just hang out. You guys are always at
Yeah.
Bourbon Street Bar, right?
yeah.
Well,
yep.
we do most of our podcasts in the studio, and then we do most of them like we half and half it. Bourbon Street
Okay.
studio, Bourbon Street studio. Kind of mix it up.
Yeah.
Really depends on what kind of mood we're in.
Yeah.
You know what day of the week is? You try to follow the drink specials around. We're poor.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Like on Wednesdays when it's half price, yeah, we're podcasting at the bar. You guarantee it. But man, definitely appreciate the invite so very much.
Yeah, I'm just glad this whole thing kind of. I know
I'm glad
it was
it
a little
worked.
hectic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It
No, it worked
gelled.
out
It
perfect.
happened.
It's a big learning experience. So next time we'll know, so it's all good.
It was a good
Nothing
test
bad.
for their jobs. They will let us off with it.
Yeah, no shit. Eventually, I'm gonna not have a job. This is gonna be our full-time job. We'll do these podcasts.
Probably not
full-time.
me. I've got kids your age. I'm not doing any of that.
I
This
got
guy.
one on the way. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can look up facebook.com/Travis Cagle Comedy. Twitter and Instagram at Travis. Or screwed that up. At Trav_is_funny.
Drugs.
See what he did
Little
there?
drunk.
Or look it all up on the Main Stage podcast.
So
Yeah,
Facebook.
we-
We'll have his
Just
stuff
look it up
plugged on
there. They'll have
Right.
it.
Yeah, we'll have it all on there.
A really cool thing. This is like a behind the scenes VH1 type moment.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, a really cool thing about producing shows is you get free beer all night.
Nice.
Not a lot of people know that.
So, like, can we trade hats and maybe they'll think I'm you and I can get in on the free beer thing for the rest of the time that
Unless
we're here?
it's at another bar and it's Rolling Rock.
Yeah.
Like, yay, Rolling Rock. That's the level I'm at.
I don't know.
They're like, we'll just give it to you so it doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
Willie, you're a little bit more fuzzier than I am. I think if I didn't do that Hitler impression on 420,
my gosh, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
We talked about that Tuesday on our podcast. I was talking about, he was like, "Do you not understand how fucking dedicated this guy is?" Like, not gonna make a joke. I'm like, this guy will shave his goddamn face on stage just to make you laugh. Like, this guy is fucking dedicated.
One of my friends was like, dude, I would never do anything like that.
Me neither.
That would revolve around me having facial hair and having to cut it. And it's like, it's a random thing. Yeah. Well, and 420 is
That's how
Hitler's
I met
birthday.
Yes.
Travis. That was my introduction to Travis.
Really?
He did that
Oh,
Hitler
yeah.
joke with the mustache.
It's a solid bit.
I
It's a
think I
solid
tweeted about you, and I was like, "This is what open mics are all about." Yeah.
You did that on an open
Hitler
mic?
and weed.
Yeah, that Jessica. I think I might have said this earlier, but Jessica was my lifeline to Wichita. I met her at an open mic, and she got me kind of
At Ernie.
connected
She's like
with
the
all my
queen of
friends.
comedy for Wichita, right?
Yeah, at Ernie Biggs. She's
like holding it down.
she's the behind the scenes queen of Wichita.
Yeah.
She doesn't get as much credit as she deserves, and also she deserves to kind of step back a little bit, focus on herself, because she's done crazy shit. Like
Right.
Austin, yeah. Did you even mention that? Are you?
Not yet.
Do you not even want to talk about
Well,
it?
I haven't really talked too much about comedy, really,
Yeah.
We'll
or
eventually
other
get to it.
stuff.
I mean, I don't know how
but-
much time.
Yeah, I don't know how much time we have, but
Yeah,
that's really
no.
what we want to get to is you guys
Well-
as comedians where your
Well, I
comedy's
went-
going.
Just why don't we just figure out like a date and meet you and
Yeah, because
Boys,
this is
why
not
don't
going to be the
all
last
of us
time you guys
kick
are
it?
going to do our podcast. All of you are going to be doing this again. So
It'd be so
That-
great.
What
that
he was
includes
getting at
you.
was
Yes.
a long
Yeah.
time ago.
That'll be for the first time.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
year ago,
Yeah.
I went to Austin, Texas, and I read these letters that I wrote to a guy I was dating who went to jail for like 4 months. And I wrote him a letter every single day, and some of them are like really sexy.
prison wife.
Yeah, well, that's the headline, but like they like to exaggerate. But it's called Mortified, and there was a documentary about it on Netflix called Mortified Nation. And people read from their journals and their diaries. But I read from these jail letters. It's highly curated,
Really?
highly produced.
Oh.
There are chapters all over the
thank
world.
you very much, Trevor.
And bye, Travis. So I read it, and then they record each performance, and then if they want you to be on their podcast, they'll release the performance, and then they're like, "Your shit's so ridiculous that you're gonna be on this podcast."
Wow.
And so that was months later. So I did like a phone Skype interview with someone in California, in LA. And he was the producer of the whole Mortified thing, and he like dug really into my story and like deep into my soul and uncovered a lot of shit, and that was cool. And but now it's on the internet and everything for everyone to hear, and my parents, and it's awful. So it's pretty mortifying.
It can be awful.
Yeah, it's you can find it on YouTube. It's episode 27, I think. It's called "I Once Was a Teenage Prison Life."
Okay, well, I guarantee I will listen to that tomorrow. So next
All
time
right.
I see you, they'll
Well,
definitely.
fucking
We'll go more in depth
make
with
sure
the
you're
whole.
not
Yeah,
in public, so you can fucking hide your. You guys are gonna die.
Nah,
Listen to it together, everybody.
Well, we'll probably cuddle and watch it.
Dan's heard it.
It's
you.
hilarious.
Well, while you haven't been properly introduced to
Not
the
at all.
podcast.
yeah, we got Dan the
we
man.
got Dan
over
the
here.
man over
Hey,
here.
what's up, everybody? I like this. Is this? I get the poles in my way.
Oh shit! All right, this damn Paul's been screwing
You can
everybody
scoot
on.
over. You can
Yeah,
scoot
yeah,
over.
yeah. Here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Hello.
No,
Hey, there are my
pole
balls.
dancer.
Yes.
This is called the Tawny Dancer.
Yeah, that's what we're drinking here.
They're pretty good.
We all got it. That's
Go
what
get
it
us.
is.
Dan does comedy.
I
know
do.
him.
Yeah, I do. She's the one actually. Like I first introduced me into
See?
comedy. Yes,
The backbone of all this comedy
So,
that's going on.
You were the
Yeah.
headliner tonight.
I was. I was the headliner. That means I get to go last while everyone else went before me. I had to wait a long time, man. I wanted to go so much earlier.
You had the most intense preparation. Like I was watching you over here. Like you were getting like into it. This guy was. I don't know if you were
I had
just.
actually just came back from the car
Yeah.
when we seen you
He's
like
like-
preparing.
Yeah, I was pacing back and forth, and I was.
He's like
stretching out,
doing push-ups and leg
power
lifts. He's just-
pose. Yeah, I was doing all that.
Well, you
shit.
didn't want to cramp up there, you know.
I gotta like get amped up. I have like a ton of energy. That's true. When I say I have ADD, it's like severe, but before a show, I'm like wicked, like into my head and into my space and thinking about like, okay, what am I gonna do? Make sure
Like he's in the zone over there. Like he's going into full on fucking stand up mode. Like he's gonna kill it.
And sometimes I'll get on stage and just explode with energy. I felt like the stage was too small. It's like a
little one by one.
Yeah, I would like walk one step.
Was it too small?
It was a little
so small. Yeah, the thing. I needed that
They
whole
would have changed
patio. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I needed.
Yeah, a couple more beers, and you never know how that could have worked out.
It's like
Yeah.
you were walking on a shoebox.
I was afraid to
Just hang
fall
out.
off.
It was
I'm tall. I'm 6'4". I would have been in the front row, just like.
No, but
So you just drinking water over here? You're not getting in on,
You know
on
what?
the craft beer? Or what?
They said free beer for the comics, so I drank one beer, but I'm not one to drink before I perform, and I was
Right.
going last, so then I was just
Oh,
drinking
yeah.
water, and then finally I was like, I'll just drink more water.
Yeah,
stay
it gets
sober.
to a point,
Yeah.
and he's like, it's still Thursday.
Yeah.
So how long you been doing comedy?
Probably like 2.5 years by now.
Really, 2.5 years, and you just seem like totally vested in this comedy scene.
Well,
like, it's
how
still
old
it's
are
still
you?
cracks
Like,
me up. I
how old are
cannot
you right
believe-
now?
27.
27.
Can I say something about Jess only because I know her fairly well? Comedy is the one step in a whole million things. I don't know if you talked about anything. She is got aspirations to do all sorts of great things. Comedy is just one little piece of Jessica's huge puzzle. She's super talented. She does graphic design, comedy, webisodes. I mean, she's got such a creative mind. She's going places big time. And don't be surprised if you see her somewhere someday and be like, hey, I used to know her.
Right?
For sure. Absolutely.
That's so nice.
And hopefully if you want enough, the future podcast we'll talk about more like that with like Travis. We're gonna try to get you guys like grouped together, and then we'll do something like that, or we get more in depth with it instead of being here at, it's kind of
Get a little more
kinda-
personal, because some of these on location podcasts, because we do them at bars and stuff, and they're not as personal as we like to get, because like I could do a 2-3 hour podcast individually with each one of you. Like I have a million questions. Like I could just spill guts like all
You
over
just
you
have
guys.
to cut everything right. Like, so out of everything that was said tonight, things that maybe you don't cut from the guest necessarily, but what you say personally, it's good to like start cutting shit down.
Yeah, I
Like
can see
I
that.
do. I edit myself so much, but mostly because I think I'm stupid, and I have to learn.
I
my
hate
voice.
the sound of my voice. I've
Yeah.
never ever listened to a podcast that I've done.
we
I
try not-
hate
we
looking
try
at
not to.
myself. I
Not
hate the
to.
sound of my voice.
Yeah.
I don't mind the sound of my voice.
As soon as I put on my
I hate-
headphones, I thought you had a good
video.
voice. That was
Oh,
the first
really?
thing I thought of, yeah.
People tell
say
me that, and
all
I
the
hate
time. He has
that.
a
I was
great
like, no,
podcast
like
voice.
I could never.
A lot of
listen
people
to a
don't
podcast.
understand it. Once they hear themselves, they hear themselves on like a.
But you
video playing out.
recognize your voice more, I think, when you wear the headphones.
You don't I don't recognize my voice when I podcast. When I do it as I'm doing it, like how I have these headphones on, I can hear myself. But when I listen to it later, it's like that's
Totally
not-
different
That's not
person.
my voice.
And then it weirds
Who
you
is
out.
that
It
guy?
makes
Yeah.
me embarrass my anxiety. Like I have to poop almost. It's like I can't listen to this. Can't do it.
I question my sexuality every time I hear my own voice. I'm
Oh.
like, that's what I sound
Dan
like.
is the, okay.
Why?
Dan is the most Leo of the Leos of the Leos of the horoscope. He
So what is so?
loves
Myself.
himself. He's
Yeah.
got a lot of self-confidence.
Yeah.
He
But
is
that's
the number
good,
one
though.
cheerleader. I wish I could scoop up all of that and put it
I
in
know.
a-
I wish maybe it'll rub off
because
on me.
it's so good. He has
You wanna
really
rub me
good
out?
self-talk. What? No, I'm not. Oh my god.
It's like not right now. Saturdays only.
No.
Yeah.
So only when your wife is like, yeah, sure.
Oh,
Just kidding. I'm not like that.
no. Neither am
Or
I.
am I? Dan likes compliments, and he deserves compliments.
Well, yeah,
He's a cool-
absolutely.
He is one of also a backbone of Midwest Digest and other podcasts, which you best believe branched off of.
So- This is really cool for us because like everybody I talk to, they're like, I don't know if it's just like the area that we live in, or I just don't know the right people, which is probably most of it. They're like, what the fuck is a podcast? Like, what the hell are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like,
They're like-
why do you do this?
They're like, what time does it air? They're like, whenever you want it to.
Like, this
man.
ain't the fucking
Yeah.
Tonight Show. Like,
everyone I talk to about a podcast will be like, "Oh, a podcast."
What is
You know
it?
what a podcast is? And they'll be like either super offended or be like, what? And if I don't say that, they're like, I have no idea what a podcast is. And usually it's the older people that are offended. And I was like, listen, I ask young and old people, like, do you know? Like, there are bitches that don't know what a podcast is.
Right.
I'm glad my mom doesn't know what a podcast is. I'd be afraid.
My
she'd
mom
listen.
is probably watching this podcast
my-
right now.
I hope my mom never watches this podcast.
I guarantee you my mom is watching this podcast.
She's gonna
Why?
She's gonna
Yeah.
Yeah, this is streaming
Live.
live on YouTube. You can watch yourself on your phone right now.
We have a call. Is mom's
You-
ringing in?
Yeah, you can, so
How do we know how many
subscribe.
people are watching?
Well, you'll only see the viewers on that are on this broadband because the way it's streamed through YouTube, you can see like it'll tell you that there's 2 people
I have 1%
watching.
left to find it.
They'll tell you there's 2 people watching, and there'll be 1,000 people watching, but there's only 2 people on that particular broadband.
Maybe thousands of people.
Like I think the most
Like,
we've had
you
since
should
we've done it is what
Periscope.
1,000.
Might as well
I
Periscope.
periscoped Jan and Trav on stage. Both their sets were periscope.
I deleted my Periscope because it's just not mature enough yet for me.
Yeah, well, look at them buns.
I
Damn.
like it.
You know that
Look
guy
at
does
Blake.
typo, like Billy
Hey,
Blanks.
we just
Do you
dropped
have
down
any
to
other
0 viewers.
questions?
There it is.
Do you have any other questions? Like that are good for this environment right now?
Where do we get one of these umbrellas?
I can't
Yeah.
uh,
I want a drink.
Okay,
that would
okay,
fit
serious
this umbrella.
Yeah.
from my trunk.
Okay, seriously, when and I asked one of you answered. When did you first decide that you wanted to start writing jokes? When did you think like I have aspirations to be a comedian? Like I want to make people laugh, I want to write jokes. Like when did that first when was that a thing?
Probably since like I was like 4 years old. To be
Wow.
honest, because my dad did a lot of theater, and so I basically grew up in a community theater. And yes,
She knew my answer was going to be
Shit, they're closing.
high school, and she wanted to beat me.
Nobody
Anyway,
heard her. Nobody heard her.
It's okay. We
Heard
should probably
what?
wrap this up.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, my dad, and he had a theater when I was growing up and always been involved, and so being on stage, doing whatever on a stage with lights is like fine by me usually, typically.
Right.
You know,
Takes a certain kind of person.
writing my own stuff and performing, that is what is nerve-wracking.
It's not
So-
for everybody, right?
Yeah, when I got into comedy, I had it like a character, and I dressed up and blah blah blah. And then a couple, like I did it like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, okay, let's just try and be me, you know, because I was like coming, I don't know, I was coming of age.
Well, you're the most professional dressed comedian here tonight. Like
You know,
I
I
give
know
you that.
pretty sharp.
It's just phenomenal.
Dude, thank you. I got at a clothing swap. I work, so I have a job. My set says I don't, like essentially. But no, I also work for.
Did you get the same DAV that you sent JC to for?
No. I work for a business consultant, and she has a finishing school for modern women, and they had a clothing swap. And when I went into work,
okay.
they had leftover shit.
Yeah.
And dude, I got 3 sweet ass blazers. I look fine as fuck in all of them. One is like shiny gold, but this is not for this crowd. So
I love the confidence.
people
I
can barely
love the
handle
fucking
it.
confidence.
Well, the
we gotta wrap this
the
up.
other blazer needs to come to
Well,
the next podcast.
Especially Jan,
Okay.
we need to connect. We need to
We're
get a
def-
podcast going later on in the future. You know, let's
You
get
got
something going on. That'd be
I'm
fucking
down.
awesome.
Tell everybody how they find out about you. Most people that are listening or watching.
It's gum under my shoe. Sorry, Dan. I know
There you go.
hate this.
She's
I
cut me
know
off
you
every fucking
interrupted.
time I tried to talk
I
tonight.
have to just
Microphone
do it.
hog.
Stop.
Yes,
no.
it's all right.
Justin, thank you.
Gum under my shoe.
Thank you
Yes.
so very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Be a lot more to come.
I'll get a
Hey,
solo
it's nice
set
meeting
without you
you.
someday.
Yeah. Hey.
I love you. How do you find me? Go to Dan the Man Comedy on Facebook or Twitter, Snapchat. It's all Dan the Man Comedy. You can check out my show dates and all that stuff. I do.
You got anything you want to plug coming up?
Yeah, just coming up really quick on Saturday, May 15th at the Looney Bin. I'll be opening for a DVD recording show. There are a couple guys recording a DVD out there, comedy DVD. I'll be opening the show. And then I got my own comedy DVD recording show at the Looney Bin on Wednesday, July 27th. So you'll get to hear me do a full 30 minutes there.
Oh, nice. Well, we'll make sure we get with you before then, and we'll plug the shit out of that.
Absolutely.
And we'll be ready. We'll be there for that. This is the beginning of a lot of good things to come. So I'm super excited.
Maybe us on your podcast, you on our podcast.
I like that.
I told Blake, I was just like, I was trying to hit around without just flat out being like, hey, I want to do your podcast.
That sounds cool.
Right? Yeah.
Do you guys clap at the end of your podcast? That's what I do. Like,
Oh,
like
well,
when
we
you guys are
can.
done, we all like, hey,
Oh,
thanks,
yeah, make it seem like we got like huge like live audience, like we're filming.
We can get all these people to clap. They're not going to clap, but
It sounds really loud on the microphone. I know they didn't used to do it on our podcast, but like the first time I got invited to do it, like I did it at the end. They're like, "Hey, thanks so and so for coming out." And I just started clapping, and everyone clapped. And then I started doing it.
It just becomes a thing then.
Someone was like, "Why do you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. We don't do that every time." Like, no.
Or hey, when somebody's done, you clap for them. Like, clap for me when I get done with my jokes. All right.
yeah.
Well, Dan, thank you very, very much. We appreciate you taking the time, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're already watching. Hit that fucking button down there. It says subscribe. Hit it. You ain't hit it yet. I know because nobody else has subscribed new in like forever. So we need more than 19.
And also go to the Midwest Digest podcast page on Facebook and like them, give them a shout out. And, we'll work something out between these two guys. We'll probably get something where, we get a lot of music, like a lot of concert tickets, so we'll end up giving them out eventually. So just like us both on Facebook. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Good night. Yay!